here in beautiful Irvine, California for a Western Conference clash between Orange County Soccer Club and Vancouver Whitecaps FC 2. Hello, everybody, and thanks for joining us on this spectacular Saturday evening here in Southern California. Tyler Terrens alongside Matt Stubbington. Glad to have you with us. And Matt, this Orange County team, a boatload of games in hand, looking to make good on it here against a struggling Whitecaps FC 2 team who have not won a game in their past 7 matches. We'll hop right in our players to watch, and on Vancouver's side, a man who pulls the strings in the middle of the park, as well as their main PK taker, Marco Bustos.
Well, he has to pull the strings. For the Vancouver team to be successful tonight, they have to involve Bustos. He's great on the ball, crafty, technical, but he has to be involved and find his teammates in the attacking third.
Bustos will be in the middle of a 4-3-3, and on the other side for Logan Paus's team is a man who has just been in great form. He's coming off a suspension, but he has done things like this season, Jerry Van Eerwijk.
He's got an eye for the spectacular, Eerwijk, and a very crafty player, technical, loves to get forward in the attacking third, and is a real handful for any opposing defenses that he faces. The
Dutchman, one of the leading goal scorers on this Orange County team on the season, coming off that suspension against Portland Timbers 2 about a month ago now. And we'll take a look at the starting lineups now, beginning with Rich Fagan's side, and obviously with that affiliation they have with Vancouver Whitecaps FC in the MLS, sort of a revolving door, but some familiar faces in there.
There's some familiar faces. Up top to highlight is Maya Bevan. Scored his first goal as a professional recently, and the Kiwi is a great asset up top for the Whitecaps FC 2.
Bevan had the equalizer in the game against Reno, which was a 1-1 draw in the match against the side from Nevada. And for Logan Paus, sort of a different look here. They're going with a 4-4-2, some different faces like Asua out wide, a Monday 8 team as well, but Fernandez and Van Eerwijk are all you need up top.
Two very talented players up top. We're trying to get width on the attack, trying to get up around the outside. Number 17, the left fullback, Roy Muse, is a really talented player going forwards. And look for number 7, Richard Chaplow, to anchor things in the midfield.
Roy Muse leading Orange County in the goal-scoring department from the left-back position, so you know he likes to get involved in the attack. It's going to be Orange County and WFC2 when we come back here in Irvine.
We built the USL into the largest Division II professional soccer league in the world. And now the time has come to announce USL Division III, America's professional third division league, completing the U.S. pro soccer landscape. It's time for your town, your team, your game. D3 will fuel local pride and local passion, creating a new legacy for the beautiful game and inspiring its tribal following across the country. This is professional soccer, built on a disciplined financial model and operational excellence, featuring exciting venues to thrill fans, in hungry new markets yearning for the game. USL Division III, professional, passionate, proven. Pro soccer starts here, coming in 2019. For more information, visit usld3.com.
Moments away from kickoff here in Irvine, California, as Orange County SC is set to square off against the Vancouver Whitecaps FC 2. But before that, Orange County SC salutes Hogan Hoag Orthopedic Institute nurses for their service to our community as they are being honored at tonight's match. And Matt Stubbington, who is joined alongside by me in the broadcast booth. What can we expect from these two teams tonight?
Well, it's going to be interesting because Vancouver Whitecaps FC 2 have got a 4-3-3 lineup as opposed to the 4-4-2 from Orange County SC. So two tactically different lineups. It's going to be interesting to see how the matchup happens in the midfield. Obviously, Orange County have the numerical advantage, but they're going to be spread out wide. So look for Chaplow and Panetta to work in conjunction with each other to try and combat and get inside the triangle that Bustos, Gardner, and Norman for Whitecaps FC2 will be playing in.
Well, we are officially underway here from Champion Stadium. Here in beautiful Irvine, California. As you can see, relatively clear skies, a little bit of wind blowing from right to left. Orange County in those all black uniforms with the orange numbers. Vancouver rocking the all white kits with the black numbers. And this Vancouver team absolutely struggling over their past 7 matches. Haven't won a game in a week's worth of matches. And their last win coming on June the 4th, a 1-0 win against the Portland Timbers 2 side. A Pacific Northwest rivalry between those two sides, and Portland Timbers 2, one of the few teams who are below Vancouver in the standings. And this is a side that has certainly struggled, but it was a team that got to the conference finals a year ago, falling to Swope Park, who would eventually lose to New York Red Bulls 2 in the USL Cup final. But a lot of different faces on this Vancouver team, a lot of youngsters, and they're really just trying to get back in the swing of things. And on the opposite side of the spectrum for Orange County and Logan Paus's side, they are on a 6-match unbeaten streak. They're coming off a thrashing of Rio Grande Valley in their previous match, as well as a draw against the same RGV team, which they saw in the middle of the week on ESPN3's USL Game of the Week. So this Orange County team, who has sort of been the talk of the Western Conference just in terms of how different their schedule has looked, are making good on these opportunities to pick up points. As there's going to be an early foul on Roy Meuse. And when we were talking with Logan Paus earlier in the week, he just said it's great to just be back in a normal cadence of games. They went throughout the month of May and June only playing about 3 or 4 league games with a couple of U.S. Open Cup games sprinkled in. And, man, it's extremely important just to be playing week in and week out so you can develop some sort of rhythm.
You definitely need to be in rhythm as a player and as a coach so that you can get consistency in your approach to what you're trying to achieve each week. And we've seen other clubs, OKC Energy spring to mind, who've had a really full schedule and have not had any practice time, whereas Orange County SC have had lots of practice time. So it's great because you can work on things as a coach, but if you're not playing games, you don't know what you need to work on because you're not seeing the finished product out on the field. So it's a different challenge for Coach Paus and for his players. And you're absolutely right, and he's right. Having that cadence that you need and the rhythm of play is going to be really important as this season progresses to its climax.
And there you just saw the man in charge for Orange County, Logan Paus, former Chicago Fire legend, as well as a member of the U.S. men's national team during his heyday, originally from Greensboro, North Carolina, and one of the bright young minds in the American soccer world. And he is doing a great job with these pieces that have been put in place for this Orange County team in his first season. And it's sort of been a learning experience for everybody, including him as a coach in charge of his first senior side. He was in charge of the Chicago Fire U23 team, which he did extremely well with. But a lot of new faces here in Orange County, and they're really just starting to put it together. But a lot of people in the USL think that they'll be able to make another playoff push. Let's not forget that this is a team that did take down the Sacramento Republic in the first round of the USL playoffs a year ago as an 8 seed, taking down the 1 seed. So it's not a team who's unfamiliar to success, but they just sort of had to push the restart button a little bit. Van Avike giving Marco Bustos a little shove in the back, making sure he's not too comfortable on the ball, as this one is sent all the way towards Charlie Lyons' end of the field, as Roy Meuse and Sorto are trying to deal with the Vancouver attack. Ball clipped in towards top of the area. OC trying to deal with it. Franco in on the mix. And now it comes out. There's a shot, and it just goes fizzing past the far post. Charlie Lyon was caught a little bit off guard. It was a good strike from number 42. It looked like it was David Norman Or perhaps it was Declan Wynn.
I think it might have been Wynn from his left back position coming forwards into the attacking third. Fizzing left-footed shot there. Orange County SC not clearing the lines defensively. Everything getting a little bit condensed in their defensive third. They have to find a way to get open a little bit quicker, spring themselves forwards on their attack. Otherwise, it's going to be a long afternoon, evening for them as Vancouver Whitecaps FC put pressure in the attacking half.
Here's Roy Mayuse getting forward, leading the team in the goal-scoring department, as he is dispossessed for the moment, but does a great job in winning it back in a dangerous area. Tries to square it back across. It looked like he was looking for a team, but it's cut out by the Vancouver defense, and that's what Roy Mayuse brings to the table for this Orange County team. Just a very technical, a very aggressive, as well as a great defending left back.
Well, it's fantastic to see him in the attacking third for Orange County SC, and so tenacious on the ball. I thought Chung did very well defensively, getting goal side, but Muse never gave up on the play and almost created a first goal scoring opportunity for his squad.
Joe Franco finding Victor Pineda in the middle of the park. His counterpart in the middle of the park, Ami Pineda, still serving that 6-game suspension for the tussle against Portland Timbers 2 here at Champion Stadium, which was about a month ago. Pineda with this game and one more to serve before he's allowed back on the pitch, and couldn't come soon enough, as he certainly plays a vital part in the middle of the park, as it really looks to be him, Chaplow, as well as Victor Pineda in the middle as really their go-to players. But they've done a great job of having players who don't necessarily start week in and week out when they have their full lineup, of stepping into these opportunities and making the most of them, like a Monday 18, like a Willito Fernandez, who sort of solidified himself as a starter, and Asua, who scored a goal in RGV game on this past Saturday.
Well, it's so important when you get those opportunities to make the most of them, and any playing time that you can get gives you those opportunities in front of your coach and against opposition that isn't your own team. Obviously, you have your competition in practice, but if you perform in the games as well, when the opportunities are given to you, then the coach is going to trust you even more.
Seiler hunting this one down, and last touch off of number 14. 23-year-old out of Anderson, California, in his second season with WFC2. Played his college ball at Georgetown University, won a Big East championship there. OC riding that 6-match unbeaten streak. Number of draws along the way, but they've just done a good job of grinding out results. As we mentioned before, the tussle against Portland Timbers 2 kind of set them back a little bit, and it was unfortunate the way that it unfolded. Logan Paws wasn't exactly happy with the way that the sentences were carried out, as that is cleared away by the Vancouver back line. But he said that while although it was unfortunate, obviously it was bad timing while they were trying to get back into a good cadence, that they've done the best job that they can, and they've really sort of weathered the storm of not having their best players available for as many games as possible. So here's Van Avijk, as he was looking to find Monday a team still with it, now encouraging Asua forward. Asua able to win a throw-in.
And part of that is, as a team, you're facing adversity, so it gives you something to pull together to fight against, and that might have been the catalyst for the unbeaten run that they've gone on.
A team with a couple of neat moves. Van Avijk trying to get in there. He's taken down. No call from the referee, though. The fans behind the goal here on the near end want a call from head referee Michael Ratchuk, but they're not going to get one.
Diagonal ball played into the box. Trying to find a team again.
Asua with a good ball in. Fernandez was looking to line it up. Last touch off of Vancouver, and it will be a corner for Orange County, the first for both teams on the evening.
Orange County weathered the early storm from the Whitecaps FC 2, but found a way to get into the attacking third. It's going to be an in-swinging corner kick from that far sideline. played short.
Muse getting the return pass with a nice little Cruyff, sends it in with his right foot. It's a good ball in. There's the header, and it's in. The initial shot didn't make it in as Ricky was able to make the save. Still trying to figure out who exactly it was that gets the tally, but either way, it's a 1-0 lead for the home side.
It's a nice little short corner kick. It wasn't going to work, though, until that Cruyff turn from Muse. Beautiful header there. An equally good save off the initial header. It was Wiebas with the initial header. The fantastic save from Richie, but he could do nothing with the rebound as it was turned into the back of the net.
And it's Victor Pineda who gets the goal for Orange County in the right place at the right time, sitting on the doorstep and thumps it home for Orange County. It's a dream start for the home side, and they now have a 1-0 lead. And it was a great little design set piece, designed to sort of draw the defense out, but Muse had a lot of work to do because Vancouver was right on top of what they were trying to do.
There was two players in the picture when we saw the replay as he did the Cruyff turn, so lots of Whitecap FC players in there defensively, but it did the job. Once that Cruyff turn had happened and he was successful in getting the cross off, the defensive presence in the box just was lacking for Whitecaps FC too, and it was a fantastic header, brilliant save, but again, nothing could be done about the rebound as Pineda put the ball in the back of the net.
Victor Pineda getting a huge goal for this Orange County team, and conversation that we've had with Logan Paws a number of times this season as we've progressed through this 2017 campaign is getting off to good starts. They've surrendered a lot of early goals. Their last loss coming against Salt Lake City a number of weeks ago, they gave up a goal in the first minute, so he's pleaded to his team to be able to start games well. No better way to start than scoring a goal in the first 10 minutes. Here's another design set piece sent towards the back post again as Fernandez elevated, but as well as Ricky who comes away with the ball.
Well, players hitting the ground there at the back post. Looked like Fernandez was lurking. Ricky did a good job making the save off of the cross. Another well-worked free kick there for Orange County SC.
Vancouver looking to get back into it now. Here's a good move towards the outside. Probably would have done better just to stay towards the middle of the park, but he went for that double move, and that's what ended up being his undoing. As here's a nice touch from Fernandez. Van Avijk with good skill. Fernandez somehow gets it to Chaplow. A team and a Sewer running with him. A team looking towards the back post, but there's a good defensive header from Christian Dean. However, they will concede another corner, and this is an Orange County team that does a lot of creative things from set pieces, and why not? It's a dead ball, it's a restart. Why not be as clever as you can?
Well, I like what I've seen so far from them. They've been creative and go forwards with the ball. So often we see teams try to be creative, but a negative ball is played initially from the set piece, and it thwarts any attack that you possibly have. So far, Orange County have gone forwards on their set pieces. As this one's played into the near post, the goalkeeper's there to collect.
Well, Victor Pineda unable to poke it home this time, getting his first goal of the 2017 season and his first goal in an Orange County uniform. Certainly came at a good time to start things off here. And looking to extend this 6-match unbeaten streak to 7, and it would catapult them into the top 4 in the Western Conference. It's a good move here as Declan Wynn sends it in. And here's the bicycle kick, and it is going to be a foul against Vancouver.
Well, Bevan has scored some spectacular goals.
Soccer fans, Nike is an official
Watching
sponsor
the
of the USL.
Under-20s
For
World
more
Cup
information,
highlights,
visit
and his was a
NikeSoccer.com.
top 10 nominee from his native New Zealand, and this would have been spectacular too, but the referee said that he pushed off of Soto, and that's why he's had the space for the overhead kick. It went wide of the target though, so it wouldn't have mattered either way.
Well, and that's sort of been the double-edged sword with this Orange County team, is that when they score goals, they sometimes turn off and make it easy for the opponent to get back into the match. Fans will remember the Seattle Sounders 2 game in which they were up 3-0. They almost ended up losing or tying that game 4-3. Portland Timbers 2, another game in which they led in the second half, ended up giving up an equalizing and a go-ahead goal, but were somehow able to find an equalizer via Lobos in about the 90th minute after they had gone down to 9 players. That was the Portland Timbers 2 scuffle. That saw Ami Pineda and Jerry Van Avijk get suspended. So I guess Logan Paws is sort of trying to tighten things up a little bit as we approach the latter half of the 2017 USL season. Maybe not latter half for Orange County, having not played half of their games yet, but either way, tightening up once the goal is scored is of vital importance as Michael Ratchuk gets involved there.
And that's part of being match fit, it's the mental fatigue. It's never going to be the physical fatigue for these players because they're all supremely fit. But when you get tired, the brain stops working as efficiently, and consequently, you start making mistakes. And not having all of the competition under their belt that they should have had at this point in the season may be affecting some of those performances.
Van Avijk has his pass intercepted, and now it's sent ahead for Bevan. Gets away from Ubias. A couple of white jerseys coming to join in on the attack. Sent over to Wynn. Wynn clips it in. It was awkward for Ubias. And then the shot there scuffed wide by Bustos, and it'll be a goal kick for Charlie Lyon.
That was awkward for Ubias. It was awkward from Bustos, but he's starting to get more involved in the game in the last couple of minutes. Is Marco Bustos, number 32, for the Whitecaps FC 2.
www.uslsoccer.com and follow them on Twitter @USL.
Fans, stay up to date on the latest USL news and information from around the league. Tune into USL Coast to Coast with Mike Watts Mondays at 7 p.m. Eastern Time on SiriusXM FC Channel 85. Also, don't forget, SiriusXM FC will air the USL Game of the Week. Please check uslsoccer.com for dates and times. So we're just trying to flick that on the far side of Champion Stadium. And Orange County will be looking forward to moving to their new home, to the Orange County Great Park Championship Stadium on August 15th. That'll be a great moment for these Orange County players to move into a bit more of a stadium-type feel. We've seen pictures of what is supposed to come, and it absolutely looks phenomenal. And a number of these USL teams building new stadiums, upgrading their already existing stadiums to really fit the bill of what is the largest second division in the world as this league continues to grow at a rapid pace. And the venues are certainly proving to keep up to suit. And now Roy Muse committing the foul. It was great work from Caden Chung, and now he wins the team a dangerous set piece right outside of the area.
Chung was sandwiched between 2 Orange County defenders there. As Muse comes in, just knocks Chung to the ground. You see it, Wubas sort of was trying to get out of the way, and then Muse came in and knocked the player to the ground. This is a great place, though, for Bustos, and great left foot for the service.
Well, going airborne probably served Chung the best. Roy Muse probably would have knocked him off the ball shoulder to shoulder, but because he went airborne, he was able to draw the foul. And now, like you said, Matt, a dangerous opportunity here for Vancouver to get right back into it right before the 19-minute mark. Bustos tried to keep it low, pops right back out towards the back post. Defensive header is cleared away. That shot is blocked in front, and then Wynn tried to get a piece of it, and that's saved by Charlie Lyon. Good work from the keeper as he's able to keep the Whitecaps FC 2 team at bay for the moment. However, they do concede a corner.
Well, it wasn't a great service off of the set piece. Russos got another bite at the cherry. He serves in a good ball. It's dangerous ball played in. And you see Gardner deflected the shot into the path of Wynn, and then a great save from the goalkeeper.
This one flicked on. Lyon has to make another save and finally able to pounce on it. But Orange County has been susceptible. While they are good on their own end on set pieces, they are susceptible to giving up goals when they're trying to defend them. They've given up a number of corner goals as well as free kicks throughout this season. And while they are difficult to defend, it is something that you can work on and just really improve on, and I'm sure that's been a emphasis of Logan Paul's during training.
Well, set pieces, it's all about individual effort, and as you say, it's easy to work on, but also you know the player that you're assigned to mark in the set piece, and if you let that player beat you, then you're letting your team down. So you have to make sure that that does not happen.
Referee says play on. Bevan back across for Bustos. Bustos trying to get around Muse. No call from Michael Ratchuk, and that's probably the right one. As it was a good challenge, Van Avike with some great skill, looking to switch the field of play. Out of the reach of Asua, who's in hot pursuit. And taking the easy way out is Declan Wynn.
Definitely was the right call, or non-call by the official. Muse just gets goal side. No foul there, just runs across in front of Bustos, gets goal side beautifully, and then starts the counter-attack for his team. And Van Ewijk with a beautiful Maradona-type move across the top of the ball. Almost gets his team into the attacking third.
Victor Pineda tripped up by Gloria Amanda. And it will be a set-piece opportunity for Orange County. And they elect to play it quickly. I know you're not a huge fan of doing that in the area.
Well, I'm okay if you play quickly, but now you've played the ball backwards, the ball's along your back line, and you've just invited pressure from your opposition. Completed wasted opportunity. If you're going to do it quickly, play positively up the pitch. Now, Orange County SC, they don't have possession, and they're on their back foot.
Bevan flicks it over the top. Now here's Chung. Very tricky on the ball, but the double team comes from Ubias and Roy Muse, and they absolutely stand him up there on the near side. Chaplow trying to get it away. Couldn't get out of pressure. And Van Avike with one too many dance moves there and surrenders possession.
Don't go there.
So he let the color grow out of his hair during his suspension.
Victor Pineda given some problems. Have to go back to Franco. A little bit too hot to handle for a team. Orange County desperate to try to win the ball back. Vancouver doing well to keep possession. And Orange County surrenders the foul.
The Whitecaps FC too are doing much better now. They seem to be a lot more involved in the game. It's a shame that they had to go down by 1 goal in order for that to light the fire under them.
This ball sent ahead. Bevan, Charlie Lyon off of his line. Bevan goes back for Seiler. Seiler first time into the box towards the back post, but it's over the head of Amanda. And now Orange County maybe with some numbers forward.
Haven't seen a lot from Bevan yet, but what we have seen, I've liked. He's a very exciting player up top, number 45 for the Whitecaps FC too.
A team taken down from behind, and it will be another free kick opportunity as it looks like Orange County are going to try to make the most out of this one. However, they do play quickly. This time they go positively forward. However, squander possession yet again. It'll stay with Franco as he tries to send it along for Van Avike, but it will be a goal kick for Ricky. Soccer fans, Nike is an official sponsor of the USL. For more information, visit NikeSoccer.com. Asua in tons of space. A team calling for it. Asua with a great ball in. Roy Muse was in the neighborhood, but it's over his head. It'll stay with Orange County.
That was a great searching ball forward, switching the point of attack from the left back position into the right forward position or the right wing. And then the cross was good, but as you said, Muse just couldn't meet it with his head.
Attention, Orange County.
Foul
SC
called against
fans.
Orange County as
Interested in season tickets
OC are a little
or playing
befuddled by the
group
call
experience?
from Michael Ratchuk.
Contact the fan development executive at 949-647-GOAL. That's 949-647-GOAL.
Ball needs to be played a little bit quicker from Whitecaps FC2, giving Orange County SC a little bit too much time to set up defensively and close down the passing lanes. Consequently, they're not able to find their midfielders, and then they have to play the ball long, trying to find Amanda, Bevan, and Chung. And the experienced back line of Orange County SC pretty much been equal to the task for the majority of this first half.
Gardner. Pineda forces Amanda negatively. Goes back to the Tanzanian. David Norman Jr. looking for an avenue, but Orange County, when they do have time to get their defensive shape, are extremely organized and they're very tough to break down.
I was watching Bustos, and he just didn't really have any idea where he wanted to make a checking run or create an angle for the pass, but because of that organization around him, he didn't really have anywhere to go to be an effective outlet.
Ben Avike tries to go right through Seiler, but Seiler stands him up. Now here's Bustos full steam ahead. Vancouver a number of times have been forced to go backwards and sort of slow up the pace of play. Is that because Orange County is doing a great job of getting back, or is they just tentative going forward?
A little bit tentative going forwards. Left back receiving the ball now. When as Bustos received that ball, I'd love to have seen him gallop him forwards to give that outlet of the switch in the point of attack. Heavy challenge on that far sideline. Foul called against Orange County.
Zasua who is committing the foul, and Gloria Amanda down on the ground now as medical attention being summoned onto the field. And Michael Ratchuk having a talking to with Zasua. Zasua scored one of the goals in the 4-0 win against RGV this past Saturday, along with Roy Miyus, Wilito Fernandez, as well as Zach Kobayashi.
The referee indicating there were several fouls that Isua had committed, and there's some accumulation. Isua said, well, that's my first one. It was a big one. I don't mind you giving me the yellow card, but I think you're miscounting on my ledger there, Mr. Referee.
Genoa Suet giving a thumbs up, and we'll have to continue with a little bit of caution here as he receives a yellow card in the 28th minute. As Gloria Amanda back to his feet.
Orange County's number 20, Samara Sua, in the 28th minute.
And Asua with another challenge just moments later and called for another foul.
That's such a difficult one, actually, because Asua's going straight up, and Amanda's backing into him and undercuts Asua. So it looks like Asua's going over the top and causing the foul on Amanda. Realistically, it could have been called in a foul against Amanda instead.
Thomas Gardner on top of it, as well as Bustos, and Orange County continue to surrender dangerous free kicks. Might be only a matter of time before Vancouver cashes in on one, as this one's sent in. But easy work for Charlie Lyon, as it had a little bit too much loop on it.
Too much loft on the ball. The direction just took it too close to the goalkeeper as well. From that angle, Tyler, I like to see the ball played around the corner of the 6-yard box at the far post and then bent into the far post. That way it's too far out for the goalkeeper to come and claim. And if you can put enough power on it, and that allows your attackers to run across the face of the goalkeeper. Quite often, a la Frank Lampard, you might see it go in the back of the net with nobody touching it.
Against Southampton?
Oh, probably.
For those of you who don't know, Matt Stubbington is an avid Southampton fan, unfortunately, so suffering mediocrity more times than not.
Hey, we're just happy when we stay up.
Soccer fans, Nike is an official sponsor of
Somebody's
USL.
got to support
For
them.
more information, visit NikeSoccer.com.
Orange County deciding to take Route 1 the last couple of trips down the field and not fooling anybody in white jerseys. Whitecaps, too, trying to return the favor as the second ball falling for Gardner.
So the ball was held up a little bit in the wind there. It's certainly coming from the Orange County side of the field. Last couple of long balls played up in the air.
Good movement here from Vancouver, but offside is Chung, and the play is blown dead. And it looks like Orange County have gotten a little complacent after scoring that goal, Matt Stubbington.
They have. It's been the Whitecaps FC too that have been on the ascendancy the last 10 minutes or so and have certainly been more involved in the game. You see there the possession certainly reflects that. You and I have discussed many times where that possession is happening, and I think a lot of it is happening in the attacking half of the Whitecaps FC too as well. It's not just playing along the back line. They are trying to go forwards with the ball.
Pineda muscled off the ball by David Norman Jr. Now Bustos is away on the other end. Numbers ahead for Vancouver. It's over for Amanda. Amanda trying to square it back across, but it's blocked in front by Franco. Still with Glory Amanda. Declan Wynn joining in on the attack. Nice little back heel. David Norman. DeVries sending it forward for Wynn again. But Isua doing well defensively. That's what you need out of your wingers in a 4-4-2. They have to be two-way players on the outside, as Isua does well. Now this ball sent ahead for Van Avijk, but he is offside. Almost a great counterattack from Orange County as Van Avijk applauding the idea, but just a step off.
Close call there by the assistant on that far sideline. Van Avijk just offside. The goalkeeper indicating to his central defenders, Dean and DeVries, hey, you've got to pay attention to Van Avijk. You can't let him have that space.
Well, Logan Pauw's team certainly isn't trying to dominate the possession statistic like you might see a Real Monarchs or a Charlotte Independence, but at the same time, there comes a point where you simply have to go get the ball back, and I guess they're content with trying to win it back in the middle of the park and then being able to operate quickly at the other end, especially with a one-goal cushion.
And when you're putting your team out, you'll instruct them where you want to pick up the pressure. And some teams, Louisville FC, for example, they like to play high pressure all the way up the pitch. Whereas what we're seeing from Orange County, you see that they're accepting that they'll give a third of the pitch to almost half of the pitch to the Whitecaps FC2. And then they'll get organized behind the ball and condense things in their own defensive half, making it very difficult for Whitecaps FC2 to break things down offensively. That's why the Vancouver team have to make sure that they move the ball quickly and with rhythm and switch the point of attack quickly and as often as they possibly can to stretch out Orange County as much as they possibly can to create some passing lanes so that Whitecaps FC2 can exploit them in the attacking third.
Oscar Sorto moving forward, didn't see an option and plays the safe route. Fans, the USL is one of the most prominent second division professional leagues in the world, featuring some of the game's top talent and rising stars. Stay up to date with all the latest league news and information by visiting uslsoccer.com and follow them on Twitter at USL.
And that ball just held up in the wind, played forwards from Wynn, the left back for the Whitecaps FC 2. No penetration on the ball flight.
Well, Vancouver, a team not necessarily known for their pace up top. They sort of like to keep it on the deck and penetrate with quick passing and interplay rather than route one, as Amanda called offside there. So it's not like they can take full advantage of the wind coming down on the other side, but you obviously have to imagine that it does help a little bit in terms of Orange County moving from right to left this half.
It does, and as far as the defensively, you're not worried about that ball flying over you, so you can get positioned underneath it nicely, and you have the advantage as far as the momentum of the ball is actually going in your own favor. Whitecaps FC2 is a team that like to play the ball on the deck. It shouldn't really affect them, the fact that they are playing into the wind, but it's just those long balls that they try and play forwards. They're just not penetrating as far forwards as perhaps they're anticipating.
A team doing nicely with his pressure. Able to bottle up Vancouver for the moment.
Starting to see the outside backs for Vancouver getting forwards more into the attack. Wynn stepping further up the pitch.
It's a nasty challenge from Thomas Gardner as Van Avijk goes down. And Thomas Gardner goes into the book, and you heard one of the Vancouver players saying that's his first challenge, but Genoa Sua went into the book for a similar offense, just in terms of it being his first, and now Thomas Gardner shown the mustard here in the 37th.
There can't be any complaints about that, coming in from behind the player. Absolutely yellow card there. No questions to be asked on that one.
Your attention, please. A yellow card has been issued to Vancouver's number 64, Thomas Gardner, in the 37th minute.
Approaching the halftime whistle, Victor Pineda, our lone goal scorer thus far. As that ball sent through, and it was a great idea. Just whiskers off in terms of the execution as they were looking for a streaking Monday 8 team.
Oh, it was a great run from the right flank from a team. Soto with the ball, and how important was that challenge there? De Vries, I think it was, with that all-important big toe, the right foot, to put that ball out for the throw-in.
Victor Pineda through for Wilito Fernandez. Fernandez trying to get the cross off as Dean denies it. However, Dean does surrender the corner, and maybe an opportunity for Orange County to double their delight before the halftime whistle.
Important challenges, De Vries and Dean. Two center backs for Whitecaps FC2.
Van Avijk on the corner for Orange County. Dean gets there first. Van Avijk brings it down. Nice little pass over to Muse. Muse curls it in. David Norman Jr. heads it away for the moment, as OC will look to keep it in Vancouver territory. Big switch back over to Van Avijk. He sends it across. That was the right idea, but Orange County didn't get into the box quick enough. Nice turn from Amanda, forcing a Sua into the foul, and he really needs to be careful. That's the second foul that he's committed since getting the yellow card.
Professional leagues in the world, featuring some of the game's top talent and rising stars. Stay up to date with all the latest league news and information.
Make good decisions when you're on the yellow card.
www.uslsoccer.com.
So he's really having his hands full with Amanda on that far sideline.
Declan Wynn clips it in. Flicked along, still loose in the box. Trying to send it back out for Gardner. Good presence of mind to lay it back. Now here's Amanda. Tripped him from behind a little bit, but stays on his feet. This one thumped all the way towards the other end as DeVries coolly heads it back to Spencer Rickey, and Vancouver will start over again. Gardner slipping it through for Bevan. Bevan going for goal. Oh, and it's just wide. Charlie Lyon might have gotten a touch to it. Perhaps not, but either way, Bevan inches away from equalizing.
On the counter-attack, ball played forwards by Gardner. A lovely ball, and then without touching it, just pulls the trigger with his left foot. There's Bevan. Not lacking in confidence is the Kiwi. Just whiskers wide of the left-hand post.
Van Avike tied up by David Norman Jr. Now sends it through. Vancouver now with a bit more sense of urgency, trying to get the equalizer before the halftime whistle. Chung. Nice move to spin away from Chaplow. It's still Chung trying to slip it through, but doing well was Victor Pineda. And now OC looking to counter on the other end. But a couple of negative touches allow Vancouver to get back. However, they move it up quickly by way of a Suet. Now finding Monday a team in space. A team towards the byline. Still a team, and that's a superb challenge from DeVries.
Fantastic defensive play from DeVries. Had to make sure of it. The team went to ground, but it wasn't before DeVries had just taken the ball right off of his foot. Great play from the captain.
Sometimes goes unnoticed, those tackles in the area, and so many times you see defenders get it wrong, commit a penalty, or allow the player to be able to get to the byline and get that cross away. But that's where center backs certainly make their money, are those challenges right there. Those are goal-preventing or chance-preventing tackles that can really make a difference in a match.
It makes such a difference, you're absolutely right, and they build the morale of the team. Look at the timing of this. Perfect tackle from the captain, DeVries. Had to make sure of it, as we said, and I thought he was even more goal side than he actually was.
Gardner trying to sneak it through. Van Avike on top of it. And now he'll look to lead the counter the other way. Wilito Fernandez spinning away from Dean, but Dean showing great strength there and muscles off the man from the Cape Verde Island. Seiler almost touched it out of bounds, still on top of it. You can sort of see why this Vancouver team has been in almost every game that they've played in, is this ball will find Gloria Amanda somehow all the way from the other side of the pitch. Amanda clips it towards the back post. Nobody there for Vancouver as Mius swipes it away. Fernandez going the other way. DeVries trying to head it backwards, but Wilito Fernandez read it the whole way. Ricky did extremely well to come off the line and make life difficult for Fernandez. And DeVries comes away with it and says, let's take a deep breath.
And again, the Whitecaps FC2 team defensively did very well with a very difficult ball to handle. Bounced awkwardly for DeVries. He couldn't head it back to his goalkeeper.
Here's Bevan away. Nice little turn. Stillmeyer Bevan. Kiwi looking for an option. Seiler clips it towards the back post. Esua is there. Seiler drops it off for Gardner again. Victor Pineda is there. Couple minutes away from the halftime whistle, plus stoppage time. Vancouver looking to get back into it after Victor Pineda got things started right around the 10th minute. we're getting word now that we'll have 1 minute of stoppage time added on to the allotted 45.
To your point about how Vancouver Whitecaps FC2 are remaining games, I mean, they are a competitive team. They just seem to be a little anxious at times in the attacking third. Consequently, the decisive pass or the decisive moment eludes them.
A team finding Van Avijk, 1v1 with Dean. Great matchup here. The Dutchman towards the byline, good cross. Fernandez was waiting for it. Van Avijk bringing it down. One more chance for OC. A team going for the curler, oh, and it's parried away by Ricky. Spectacular fist from the keeper as he was sprawled off of his line. It'll be a corner for OC.
Fantastic passage of play. The previous cross was met beautifully by Wynn defensively. But it came back out to Van Avijk. He found his teammate who took a fantastic shot, and the save was even better out for the corner.
Spencer Ricky, 25-year-olds from Seattle. Bounced around from the first team in the MLS as well as WFC2, made a couple of other stops along the way. Played his college ball at University of Washington. And just saw him make a spectacular save as that cross headed away by Amanda. Pops back out to Chaplow, who has his shot blocked in front. And that's going to do it for the first half from Orange County. Victor Pineda's goal stands alone at the moment. And as it stands, Orange County might be able to propel themselves into the top 4 in the Western Conference if the scoreline remains the same. Matt Stubbington, your thoughts on the first half?
It's been a very competitive match. Orange County SC started the more positive of the two teams, but eventually Vancouver Whitecaps FC2 woke up and started competing in the game and really had created some great opportunities in their own attacking third. But it was Orange County SC that closed the first half, the stronger of the two squads.
1-0 from Irvine, California, as we will move to the halftime show. We'll be back in just a few moments.
So there you are, shuffling through a stack of resumes and you come to mine. This is it, first impression, my way in. But can my resume show you how I truly stand out? Like that I was studying, going to night school while working 2 jobs just to help my parents pay for groceries. Or being the first one to always step up. No, that's something you just can't put on paper. Look beyond the resume and discover new ways to develop great talent that is dedicated, hardworking, and determined like me.
Here is my handle and here is my spout.
When I get all steamed up, then I shout.
Tip me over and pour me out. Oh.
It only takes a moment to make a moment.
Cheers.
Take time to be a dad today.
Back here at Champion Stadium in Irvine, California. Halftime between Orange County SC and Vancouver Whitecaps FC2. Victor Pineda's goal stands alone for the moment. And at the moment, Orange County will move up in the standings significantly, sitting on 25 points. They'll have 28 with 3 points. Tyler Turns alongside Matt Stubbington. And Matt, possession being dominated by Vancouver, but as we've talked about ad nauseum before throughout this entire season, it's about where the possession is being played.
But the possession in this case is being played in their attacking half, which is great to see. So often we'll see possession being, that statistic being bolstered because they're playing along their back line, but that's not the case. Whitecaps FC2 are trying to be positive and get into their attacking half, into their attacking third, and create the opportunities.
2 yellow cards dished out to either team, as we did have a game before this one, and it was an amputee match between Haiti and the United States. They wanted to be able to have a World Cup of amputee soccer, but some of the teams couldn't afford it, so they decided to have a championship right here at Champion Stadium. And look at some of these finishes and celebrations. Just an unbelievable scene. This took place just about an hour before the game, and you can see how much fun they're having with it. Just a great moment for these athletes, and it's just mighty impressive what they're able to do.
That's fantastic opportunity for these players, and on the skill that they're displaying, in the fact that they're doing it on crutches and missing limbs is absolutely amazing.
And you can see here some of the skill that they display. Haiti would go on to win this match 5-0 against the United States. It was a best-of-3 series. The United States won the game yesterday, so the championship, the rubber match, Game 3, will be played right here at Champion Stadium tomorrow between Haiti and the U.S. Just a great moment for Orange County to be able to host this event. Awesome for the athletes to be able to participate in it. And as you can see, Haiti just running away with it and having a blast while doing it.
That one looked like he might have been a bit offside there. Still trying the scorpion kick as the ball goes over his head. But I mean, again, fantastic finishes, fantastic skill. You can see the players there enjoying the juggle circle, as we all do on the soccer pitch.
And some of the fans here soaking in the scenes as well as the sun on a beautiful Saturday evening here in Southern California, as Orange County looking to get another big 3 points and extend that unbeaten streak to 7. And they are 45 minutes away from doing so, but they'll have to get rid of a scrappy Vancouver Whitecap FC 2 team for the remaining 45 minutes, as we'll be back in a few moments with some highlights and a little bit more.
It's a short ride from your neighborhood to your naturehood. Find fun activities to do, like boating and biking, or camping and hiking, plus much more. To find a neighborhood park or green space near you, visit discovertheforest.org.
Every day across America, excess food is gathered by a network of good people at local food banks, giving hope to millions of children who struggle with hunger. They've earned their wings, and you can too. Together, we can solve child hunger. Support Feeding America and your local food bank at feedingamerica.org.
Attendance numbers have been impressive, fan bases have been strengthened, and the newest club to join the USL has been announced. In a press conference, USL President Jake Edwards announced Fresno Football Club is set to join the league for the 2018 season.
It's great to finally be here, representing the league and our Chief Executive Officer, Alec Papadakis, as we welcome another fantastic professional soccer club into our league and a fantastic new community into our USL family. My great pleasure on behalf of Alec Papadakis and the USL family to officially welcome Fresno into the USL for the 2018 season.
Well, good morning, everybody. I'd like to start off by saying that the World Cup is coming next year, and so is Fresno Football Club. Good timing. When people come to a game, I'm hoping to pack this stadium out, that they're going to look forward to it, they're going to get behind the team. It's going to be a great thing for the city of Fresno.
Really need your support to make this work. I think that the turnout today has shown that the passion's there. I'm excited about it. Go FFC. Let's go.
Fans can find more information and reserve season tickets at FresnoFC.com. For USL Network, I'm Morgan Conklin.
I'm a retired school psychologist, and helping people was my thing.
I was very independent and thought I could take care of myself. I fell, and I had to have Meals on Wheels.
After my stroke, when Meals on Wheels started, I was on the other end of the stick, so to speak.
Meals on Wheels, coming to my door as someone who's housebound, having someone check on me, assures me that I'm not forgotten.
Meals on Wheels has given me a mode of freedom that I wouldn't have otherwise.
We're the clients.
We are the clients.
We are the clients of Meals on Wheels.
America, let's do lunch.
1 in 6 seniors faces the threat of hunger, and millions more live in isolation. Drop off a hot meal and say a quick hello. Volunteer by donating your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org.
Halftime here between Orange County SC and Vancouver Whitecaps FC 2. Victor Pineda's goal right now stands to be the difference maker between these two sides. And right now we'll take a look at our upcoming ESPN3 game of the week between OKC Energy FC and Reno 1868 FC. Could be possibly a playoff matchup between two teams that are right now red hot and looking to make a little bit of a splash and move up in the Western Conference standings. That game will be on ESPN3 and on the Watch ESPN3 app on August 2nd. And we are going to step away for another brief moment, but when we come back, we'll have highlights in second half kickoff, so don't go anywhere.
We've raised the stakes. Expectations are high. Our biggest season yet will break records with elite players and future stars, innovative technology, and new homes. We're growing the game in our communities and across the nation. Are you ready?
We built the USL into the largest Division II professional soccer league in the world. And now the time has come to announce USL Division III, America's professional third division league, completing the U.S. pro soccer landscape. It's time for your town, your team, your game. D3 will fuel local pride and local passion, creating a new legacy for the beautiful game and inspiring its tribal following across the country. This is professional soccer, built on a disciplined financial model and operational excellence, featuring exciting venues to thrill fans, in hungry new markets yearning for the game. USL Division III, professional, passionate, proven. Pro soccer starts here, coming in 2019. For more information, visit USLD3.com.
Just moments away from second half kickoff here at Champion Stadium in Irvine, California. Tyler Terrence along with Matt Stubbington. And Matt, we're going to take a look at some of the best moments from the first half, and most of them really were dominated by Vancouver. They had almost 60% of possession, but it was Orange County SC who got things started early.
They started off more positively between the two teams, and they got the result off of the corner kick. It was well worked short. Here's the Cruyff turn from Muse to open up the cross, angle for the cross. Header comes in, saved beautifully on the line by the goalkeeper Ricky, and then turned into the back of the net by Weavers and Pineda.
Victor Pineda getting his first goal of the season and his first goal as a member of Orange County SC. And you can see what it means to the fans behind the goal right there as he catches some streamers across the noggin there, but he's not going to mind as you see Pineda there thumping it home once more. And that would be the lone goal of the first 45 minutes, but Vancouver would certainly have their chances throughout the rest of the first half.
They tried very hard to get the ball in the back of the net. It took a fantastic save there from the goalkeeper, Lyon, to come out and deflect the ball out for a corner kick. It was Wynn off of the deflection, trying to win the ball and put it on frame for Vancouver Whitecaps FC 2.
One of the few saves that Charlie Lyon would have to make throughout the first half. He wouldn't have to make a save on this one, but this was probably the best chance of the first half for Vancouver.
That was a great look there from the Kiwi, the youngster Bevan. Great through ball played to him, pulls the trigger with his left foot, but puts it just wide of the right hand upright as we look at the goal.
Thomas Gardner was the one who slipped the ball through. He was very active, and this was a bit of a nervy moment for him in Vancouver. They could have gone down 2-0 before the half.
On the clearance, the ball just checked up on the central defender, De Vries, the captain for Whitecaps FC 2. Couldn't really handle the header to the goalkeeper, and Ricky had to come out very quickly to thwart the danger.
And then this was the best save of the first half from Spencer Ricky.
It was a fantastic shot there from a team. Bends it with the right foot through traffic. The goalkeeper would have seen that late. It was a great height for Ricky to carry that around the post for the corner kick.
Monday 18 was certainly active throughout the first half, but that was how he would finish in the first 45 minutes with Pineda's goal, the lone one. And we'll take a look at the upcoming schedule for WFC 2, and this is a team that is starving for points, and it doesn't get any easier. 4 out of their next 5 games on the road.
That's going to be very challenging on the road and against some really good teams as well. So it is going to be challenging for Whitecaps FC 2 to find a way to get in the win column. But if they continue to be as competitive as they have been this evening, perhaps they'll be on the right track after tonight.
And on the other side for Logan Paus's team, they obviously have a number of games in hand, 3 out of their next 5 games on the road away from Champion Stadium. But you see at the bottom there, August 15th, that'll be the new Orange County Great Park Championship Stadium that they're moving into. But these are great opportunities against LA Galaxy 2, against Colorado Springs, and against Tulsa to be able to pick up 3 points. Though those other games are against some of the top teams in the Western Conference, however.
The challenge is going to be how condensed the schedule is going to be in August to make up the difference in the games in hand. But certainly it's going to be a challenge for Orange County moving forwards.
And when we look at schedules, we also look at the standings to see exactly what we're playing for. And as we mentioned before, Orange County with a win would catapult themselves into the top 4. And it was only really a matter of time before this Orange County team found the rhythm, played enough games to where they would be in the playoff consideration.
It would be only just a matter of time. And as you say, they're a very talented squad. They've got the components to be very successful, and now you got Van Evek back as well. It's going to be a real momentum shift for them as this season winds down.
And on the other side of the Mississippi is the Eastern Conference, and it is not exactly updated. Charlotte Independence, just moments before this game started, finished off the Bethlehem Steel 4-0 behind 2 goals from Lewis Hilton. They now move into first place in the Eastern Conference.
Charleston Battery will hope that they can reclaim first place as they play against Orange County, Orlando City B this evening as well. But it's going to be a great finish to the season between those 2 teams.
You got the O right there. I mean, that's got to count for something.
It counts for something, but not a whole lot.
And we are underway here for the start of the second half between Orange County SC and Vancouver Whitecaps FC 2. Tyler Terrens along with Matt Stubbington. Glad to have you with us. And if you're just tuning in, A, shame on you. B, Victor Pineda has the lone goal in this match so far. His first goal as a member of Orange County SC. And that is where we stand at the moment as Vancouver are looking to snap a 7-match winless streak. And Roy Muse right off the bat with a stellar defensive play. And something that I was sort of pondering to myself, Matt, while we sat here in silence through the commercials, is it beneficial to have one of your best and most threatening offensive players at the outside back position, or is it detrimental because maybe they're not getting as many touches on the ball as you would like them to?
Well, the way the game is played, especially when you're playing a 4-4-2, the fact that he's playing an outside back allows him to get forward. And so I don't think it is a detriment. I mean, we've seen some great outside backs. Joel Johnson for the Independents, for example, in the Eastern Conference, gets forward so frequently into the attack that he was joining the attack more often than not. The key is how good are your center backs. And, you know, it comes down to Webas and Soto. If they can play well in conjunction with each other, will they then give the freedom for the outside backs of Franco and Muse to get forwards in the attack? If those two central defenders don't, then yes, Muse is wasted at the left back position. He needs to move up to the outside mid.
And it's not only the center backs, but it's also the number 6 and the number 8, the holding defensive central midfielders who are supposed to be sitting on the laps of the center backs if their outside backs are to get forward. As Vancouver looking mighty dangerous here. Bustos lets fly, but that goes over the bar as well as wide of the frame. And it'll be a goal kick coming for Charlie Lyon.
Well, that's where Chaplow is such a key component of what Orange County SC are trying to do. The Englishman plays very smart and very simply in the middle of the park. Unless he and Pineda are in conjunction with each other, if they don't play smartly and rotate that position, then again, it will expose that back line and will not allow the outside backs to get forwards.
You sound a bit biased when talking about Richard Chaplow.
I've been impressed by him. He plays a simple game and is strong in the midfield and does a good job.
Declan Wynn drawing the foul there for Vancouver. Anything that Whitecaps FC2 can do a little bit different to maybe get an equalizer?
Well, as they progressed in the first half, what they were able to do was get their outside backs into the play more. I mean, especially when you're playing a 4-3-3, you have to create the width from somewhere, and it has to come from those outside back position, unless you're playing the ball early and over the top behind the back line of your opposition, which is not really something that the Whitecaps FC2 try and accomplish. So those outside backs of Wynn and Seiler have to get involved in the attack and further up the pitch, and that was something that they were able to achieve as that first half came to a conclusion.
It's a good little interplay between Bustos and Thomas Gardner, but the return pass goes all the way to Charlie Lyon, who only really had to make one save early on in the first half. Hasn't been really tested much. Maybe Vancouver should try to look from distance and try to maybe open up and be a little bit more unpredictable in the attacking third.
Certainly variety would help. Trying to get deep into their attacking third, as they did fairly successfully at different points. But they need to find a way of doing that with some variety in the attack. If you try and do the same thing time and again, then it makes it easy for the opposition to defend you.
David Norman Jr. playing that holding defensive mid-roll for Rich Fagan. Seiler getting to the byline, sends it across, but Ubias is there first. David Norman Jr., the son of David Norman, who played for Whitecaps FC back in the day and played for the Canadian national team for 11 years. So following in his father's footsteps, and the 19-year-old certainly in a solid position, and he is one of those players who makes this Canadian team really go in the middle of the park, and seems like the sky's the limit for a man who has soccer running through his veins.
Sometimes it puts a lot of pressure on you to fill your father's shoes as far as trying to live up to everything he accomplished, but Norman Jr. is doing a pretty good job to start off with.
No substitutions made at halftime, so both coaches feeling like their squads on the pitch are doing the job for the moment. A couple of players on yellow cards as Thomas Gardner as well as Genoa Suet were shown the mustard midway through the first half, so they'll have to be careful, and they might be subject to a substitution a little bit later on in the match. Orange County looking to extend that 7-match unbeaten streak to 8. Hopefully with all 3 points, and Vancouver looking to snap a 6-game streak without a win. Their last win coming against Portland Timbers 2, where Bustos scored from the penalty spot on June the 4th. Still springtime when they got their last 30 points. But as we mentioned before at the top of the broadcast, this is a squad who finds themselves in every game. And we mentioned before, one of the best parts about this team is that they are feisty, they are gritty, they love to compete. But like you said, they're just a little bit anxious getting in the final third.
Well, they're not a team that scores a lot of goals, so that adds to the anxiety, especially when you're down a goal as well. So some of the choices you make aren't the best.
Well, their leading goal scorer is Marco Bustos, and all of his goals coming from 12 yards away from penalty kicks. So just goes to show exactly where they stand as far as scoring goals.
And the second leading goal scorer is Muse, who's, oh, sorry, wrong team there. I switched my team sheets over at halftime and got myself confused.
Bevan goes out wide for Seiler. Seiler laying it off for Bustos, but cutting it out is Victor Pineda. His touch a little bit too heavy. Gardner back for Bustos. Bustos gets it again, and it's just over the bar. Oh, that was clever football from Vancouver in a very tight area. And Charlie Lyon is happy to see that go over the bar.
Beautiful interchange of passes, just give and go. One touch. And you see there Bustos just a little bit off balance, trying to shape that one into the upright upper left-hand corner as he looks at the goal. Wasn't able to turn it on frame, just a little bit off balance.
Van Avik looking for a foul and simply just stopped playing, and now Vancouver looking to take advantage of a depleted Orange County midfield. Wynn being encouraged forward. Declan Wynn. That's the sort of anxiety we were talking about, just sort of a lazy pass from Wynn, and now Orange County are off to the races. Fernandez making a darting run. Van Avik holding up play. A team just muscling off Norman Jr. Still a team, now over for the Dutchman Van Avik. But a good deflection from Gardner that breaks up that attack.
Good attempt at the counter there from Orange County SC. The pass from Wynn, it was a lazy one. He just needed to pull the trigger on the pass a little bit quicker. Just allowed the defenders to come back and block the passing lane. Would love to have seen him actually have the confidence in himself to take the ball into the attacking third and challenge the outside back.
Bevan, Chaplow making sure he doesn't commit the foul, and Bevan dribbles the ball over the byline, and it will be a goal kick for Charlie Lyon.
Smart play there from Chaplow not to cause the foul. Bevan continues to impress me. Young player who's got a bright future ahead of him.
Some of the game's top talent and rising stars. Stay up to date with all the latest league news and information by visiting www.uslsoccer.com and follow them on Twitter @USL.
See the win there, just hold that ball up.
Norman Jr. trying to find Gloria Amanda. Do have some scores from around the USL. Colorado Springs Switchbacks, a team that Orange County is chasing, up 2-1 on Seattle 2 in the 53rd minute. Obviously this game 1-0. St. Louis FC took down Richmond on the Eastern Conference. Louisville FC up 2-1 on New York Red Bulls 2 in the 83rd. Tampa Bay Rowdies up 2-0 on Dave Brandt's Pittsburgh Riverhounds in the 82nd. And the Charleston Battery tied Orlando City B, so that means Charlotte Independence are alone at the top of the Eastern Conference with a game in hand over the Charleston Battery. Such a stupendous job from Mike Jeffries and their staff, getting things together right at the opportune moment. And they are on a 10-match unbeaten streak, taking down the Bethlehem Steel 4-0 today. 2 goals from Lewis Hilton, who got the start instead of June Marquez Davidson. A couple of assists from Enzo Martinez, as Walito Fernandez applying the pressure. Rochester Rhinos taking down FC Cincinnati 3-2. And a great matchup there. That could be a potential Eastern Conference matchup. And this is really an exciting time of the season as playoff pictures are really starting to take form.
It is an exciting time, and as condensed as some of these the conferences are towards the lower part of the playoff picture. And you see with this game, Orange County can vault themselves so far up into the standings. It makes a huge difference with each and every result.
Christian Dean going to let fly from range, but that's always going wide. Certainly a big boy, Christian Dean, and I'm sure he can produce that from long-range effort, but that time never going to hit the target.
Keepers at this level, it takes something special to beat them from that distance out. And as he didn't hit the target, we can assume that that wasn't anything special from Dean.
Gardner slipping that through as Bevan is giving chase, but a good job defensively from Orange County. Fans, stay up to date on the latest USL news and information from around the league. Tune into USL Coast to Coast with Mike Watts Mondays at 7 p.m. Eastern Time on SiriusXM FC Channel 85. Also, don't forget, SiriusXM FC will air the USL Game of the Week. Please check USLsoccer.com for dates and times.
Just watching Chapler there on the ball. So great to see him looking up, so comfortable and confident on the ball as he's dribbling the ball forwards. He's looking up for his passing options, knowing that the ball is going to stay at his feet.
That cross blocked away by Ubias for the moment. Still work to do for Roy Muse. OC have a tough time getting out of their own end at the moment. Bustos. He's toying with Van Avike. Norman Jr. back for Bustos. Great little interplay again as Bustos was looking for the return pass. And they really do have the right ideas, this young Vancouver team. I mean, it looks very good, but it's just sort of that last pass. You can tell that all these players have the technical ability.
They're a very technical team, very savvy. Just need to make some better decisions tactically. As Bustos was standing on the ball, you saw Siler, number 14, coming into the space, trying to create some support, but in the end, he just brought defenders in and condensed the area and made it almost impossible for Bustos to get into the box and create an opportunity.
David Norman Jr. goes down as it looked like he might have caught a Charlie horse from an Orange County player. So we mentioned before, Norman Jr., son of David Norman, who played for the Canadian national team for 11 years, as well as Whitecaps FC in the MLS. He's from New Westminster, British Columbia, in his first season with the USL side. Played for the Oregon State University Beavers for 1 year in 2016, had 5 assists and 2 goals with the Beavers, and after his freshman year decided to turn pro and has really made the most of that decision. As a member of the Whitecap FC residency program, as a number of these players were, a lot of them playing together since the age of 12 or 13 years old, as Norman Jr. getting stretched out over on the sideline. And this is one of the examples of, you know, this sort of North American approach of playing academy, maybe not playing college, and just sort of playing from that young age and getting that sort of professional feel from a very young age, like I'm sure a lot of teams over in England and Spain and all these European countries, that's how they operate in terms of getting players to play at the highest level. It may not be the college model for soccer as it might be for basketball and football, which we've come to know. And this is a great example of one of the clubs who have really taken that path to pro model to heart.
Certainly in Europe, there is no college game to speak of at all, and it is through the academies that players get seen and progress up through the ranks in the game of soccer in Europe. And so it's good to see that the clubs in this country have embraced that, but it's also fantastic for these players because we see so many of these players that are reaching professional ranks through different avenues. And we've seen players that have made it through open tryouts. You see them playing. You You can play in college, but you don't have to play at the big D1 schools. You can play at D1, D2, D3. If you're good enough, you'll get seen. And because you've got a great second division league in the USL, you're having these opportunities, and then putting your best performance out on the pitch, you then get the opportunity perhaps at the Major League Soccer level. So it's just a great avenue and many different ways for these players to achieve success in the game of soccer in this country. And I think the sport in this country will benefit from that, because there'll be a bigger pool of players that will be seen, rather than those that impressed at the age of 10 and made it through the academy system, or didn't make it through the academy system, so to speak, that may go by the by in Europe.
So a couple of substitutions came on while Matt Stubbington was enlightening us there, as it was Teron Campbell coming on and replacing Gloria Amanda, as well as Thomas Gardner coming off, and Patrick Metcalf entering the game. And for Orange County, Dusan Stevanovic, as well as Gustavo Villalobos coming on. So 2 pieces being moved for either team, not even before the 65th minute. So a little bit of an early move from either Logan Pause and Rich Fagan. And Monday 18 and Wilito Fernandez both coming off. Not necessarily Wilito Fernandez's night, as Christian Dean as well as Francis DeVries were both tuned to what Wilito Fernandez was trying to do on the pitch, and they really did a good job of neutralizing him.
They did, but he's such a dangerous player. I'm surprised that he has been taken off. But certainly Stevanovic is a very talented player in his own right.
Stevanovic had the goal against RGV in that ESPN3 USL Game of the Week this past Wednesday. Looking to make an impact here, looking for an insurance goal. And then Vancouver on the other side making a couple of offensive switches to maybe go ahead and get the equalizer. And we're just getting word that tonight's attendance here at Champion Stadium is 2,182. And the continued support for Orange County, always making their voice heard here, and they're going to be heard even more so when they move into their new stadium August the 15th against the Tulsa Roughnecks. The Orange County Great Park Championship Stadium.
So many soccer-specific stadiums being built for the USL. It's fantastic to see as well.
And for those of you who are watching some of the commercials during the halftime break, Fresno FC being announced as another expansion squad coming into the USL in 2018, as well as Las Vegas, Nashville. Great opportunities for the United Soccer League, as they are not happy with simply being the largest second division in the world. They want to continue to keep on growing, continue to keep giving great cities an opportunity to see professional football, and why not? The United Soccer League is doing so well, over 1 million in attendance already, even at the halfway mark, as there's an elevated header, and Richie had to come off of his line. Now Norman Jr. sending it the other way, as Campbell giving chase. Campbell trying to work on Franco. Soccer fans, Nike is an official sponsor of the USL. For more information, visit NikeSoccer.com. Sua with an acrobatic header to go all the way back to Lyon, who's going to waste a little bit of clock here, forcing Bustos to come all the way over.
You hear the instructions from Richie, the goalkeeper for the Whitecaps FC2, telling Declan Wynn to get higher up the pitch. Ball just out of his reach, though. Campbell don't like using his right peg, does he?
What makes you say that?
Orange County Soccer Club thanks you for your support.
He's just, he's playing on the left, and he's just used his left foot for every touch that I've seen him have so far on the field.
Bustos flicking it along. It's Metcalf forcing it out wide. Seiler going for goal as that had a little bit of sting to it, but always going wide of the frame, and Vancouver continue to sort of be missing that final piece of the puzzle to be able to get the equalizer.
And it's just that anxiety in the final third. Unsure whether the opportunities are going to disperse, and so they pull the trigger a little bit earlier than they thought they might. Might not be the first run that's the most devastating. They might have to have the patience to pick out the second or third run. At the moment, they're just not seeing the game that they need to see when they get into that part of the pitch.
And on the other side for Orange County, they seem extremely content with this one goal at the moment, and obviously with the changes that Logan Paws made, while they are a bit more offensive, we'll see a lot of coaches do that nowadays, isn't just in terms of when they're up a goal, and you would think that they would make a defensive change, maybe bring on a number 6 or an outside back as an extra defender. You know, they're going for this concept of sometimes the best defense is a good offense.
Well, if you have the ball, and especially if you have the ball in your attacking half, then it's as far away from your own goal as it can be. But I think with Stefanovic coming on and Villalobos coming on as well, they're attacking players, but it also shores up the midfield for Orange County SC, and I think that's what Logan Paws was trying to do.
Stefanovic and Van Avijk with a nice little 1-2, but nicely defended by Declan Wynn.
So important when you're defending that give and go. You chase the runner, not the ball, and it's exactly what Wynn did. He chased Van Avijk and took away the angle for the pass, and consequently it was Wynn that came away for the ball, not Van Avijk.
Pineda somehow still with the ball at his feet, finally dispossessed, and it is going to be a foul against Orange County. Or rather a throw-in. Almost 70 minutes played, a little more than 20 minutes to go. Orange County looking to keep it rolling and make it 8 in a row unbeaten. 3 points would put them level for the top 4 in the Western Conference. Still with a number of games in hand.
Bustos has been quiet the last few minutes for Whitecaps FC 2.
Good ball in from Seiler as Bevan brings it down. Bevan tripped up a little bit by Chaplow. Michael Ratchuk says play on. And that ball never going to reach. Seiler on the far wing, and it'll be a throw in about 109 yards away from goal for Orange County.
To look to see if Whitecaps FC 2 can play good defense here and lock the ball in. So if you allow the drop pass as easy as that and the ball driven forwards.
And that always sort of baffles me, as teams letting, I mean, that's an opportunity to go after the ball and get a turnover in the defensive third. Not only is it a restart for the offensive team, the team that has the ball, it's a restart for the defensive team. Go right up to a man, lock on, and make sure the ball doesn't get out.
And you think, I mean, really, you are a player up in that circumstance, because you have the player throwing the ball in. They're off the pitch. They're not involved, so you should be able to play good defense and make sure that you are putting the pressure on that needs to be put on.
Well, there's good pressure from Villalobos, and he is sending Dusan Stefanovic into space. Campbell needs to be careful here. Stefanovic trying to send it across, couldn't get his foot quite around it, and that's easy work for Ricky.
And good footwork from the goalkeeper to get on the end of that cross. It's drifting on the wind a little bit.
Vancouver looking to operate quickly the other way. It's a good ball in. Bustos going for the volley, and it looks like it hit the foot he was trying to line up the shot with. Still Seiler. He sends it across, thumped away. Back out for Norman Jr. He goes for goal, and that's parried away by Lyon. The second opportunity is blocked away by Muse. However, it will be offside. Great goalkeeping from Charlie Lyon.
Well, there's a lot of traffic in front of Lyon as this ball comes in from Norman. He saw it late, did Lyon, but strong to his left. And a very strong left hand to put that one out of the danger area. Two very good saves we've seen in this game from either goalkeeper.
Charlie Lyon in his first season with Orange County, just 25 years old. Was drafted by the Seattle Sounders in the 4th round, 75th overall in 2015. 3 clean sheets on the season, played his college ball with Marquette from 2010 to 2014. Just a very sound shot stopper as well as commanding off of his line, and a great pickup for Logan Paws. And another offside call on Vancouver as they're starting to inch closer and closer to Orange County's goal.
Just have to try and time that run a little bit better, bend it around the defense before the ball is played.
Foul.
Was that a push off there?
Well, that was. Well, Van Avijk has already gotten involved in one extracurricular tussle earlier in the season, and that proved to be a 3-game suspension. It was originally 5, but Orange County appealed and ended up winning the appeal and got the sentence reduced. They would hate to see Jerry have to leave for another extended period of time. Seiler through here. It's Bustos again. He's been very busy. Bustos has his shot blocked by Chaplow. Back out to Norman Jr. Clips it over, but Asuit does well defensively. Now here's Stevanovic with plenty of green to gallop into. Stevanovic has Asuit running with him. First real sign of possession we've seen from Orange County probably since the start of the second half.
They've been very willing just to sit back and absorb pressure. Try and keep the ball in front of them. Asuit did very well defensively on that header to clear the lines.
Vancouver looking dangerous on the attack again. Norman Jr. going out wide. Back for the 19-year-old again. Bevan. And that is going to be offside, and you can see there from Joe Franco just applauding the defensive shape and the defensive discipline from this Orange County team. And they got that one cheap goal off a set piece from Victor Pineda, and they seem utterly content with having that be their goal production for the day and just hoping that they can hold on and get out of here with a 1-0 win.
Well, if they're able to do that or find a way to poach a goal on the counterattack, they'll be very, very happy. Again, the decision-making from Whitecaps FC 2 in the attacking third is found wanting. Campbell there in an offside position and always drove me nuts as a coach.
Bustos, still Bustos, taken down. No call from the referee, says play on. And Bustos cannot believe it. Van Avijk with a nice little scoop over for Stevanovic. Norman Jr. gets it wrong. Stevanovic 1v1 with Dean, tries to curl it around the defense. That would have had to be a perfectly threaded ball for Villalobos, and that's a wasted counterattack for OC.
That was definitely a wasted counterattack. I thought he was trying to wait Stefanovic until Van Avijk was in a better position, and in the end he was caught between two choices to play Villalobos or Van Avijk, and in the end it just went to the goalkeeper and thwarted the what would have been a great opportunity.
Match starting to open up a little bit here in the 77th minute. Certainly room for both teams to play. Bustos with another turn, as Bevan was trying to get on the end of it, as we haven't heard his number called a whole lot in the second half, as I'm sure Logan Paws made sure that number 45 was in check for the last 45 minutes. Stevanovic out wide for Asua. Genoa Asua whipping it in all the way towards the back post. Nobody home for OC, and it'll be right back for Vancouver.
The wasted opportunity on the counter-attack. Keep talking about Whitecaps FC 2 not making the right decisions in the attacking third. It's Orange County SC, they're not making the right decisions, or if they're making the right decisions, they're certainly not executing. Holding up play.
And it looks like a Whitecaps FC 2 staff member is being sent off now. And it appears to be Steve Meebley who is sent off, the fourth official over on the touchline, motioning for Feebly to exit the stadium. So a little bit of a strange occurrence here in the 78th.
Coach Meebley was certainly claiming his innocence, and it wasn't him. Very peculiar.
And as soon as you hear those words, it usually was them.
Yeah. Well, the fourth official didn't like something that was said.
You have to imagine it goes back to the Bustos non-penalty call, because that was the best goal-scoring opportunity that Vancouver have had here in the second half. And it certainly looked like there was contact. Whether or not it warranted a foul, it's obviously up to the interpretation of Michael Ratchuk, and he said no in the moment, but maybe Steve Meebley was expressing his opinions well past the moment. Orange County fans starting to sense 3 points now as we get closer and closer to the 90-minute mark. Norman Jr. striding forward as this pass broken up. Now Orange County looking to counter the other way. Stevanovic into space. Stevanovic going for goal. Oh, and it just fizzes past the far post. It was a good idea from Dusan Stevanovic, but it had to be something special.
Well, I questioned his decision-making on the earlier opportunity that the pass went astray. He decided he wasn't going to pass it on that attempt, and just wide of the left-hand post.
And now here's Victor Pineda away. Pineda around Ricky, going for goal, and it's blocked away by DeVries. Last-ditch defending at its finest. Pineda denied a brace, and it remains 1-0 OC.
Better decision. Stevanovic was on the penalty spot waiting for the ball. But DeVries steps up. The keeper is beaten, but the captain is not. Great example there of what you need to do as a defender. If your goalkeeper commits, you have to back him up, get to the goal line. That's exactly what DeVries did. Keeps his team in it.
Well, it was an extremely poor giveaway from the Vancouver back line. But here they come on the other end with their attacking front. Looking dangerous once again. Bustos finding Bevan. Trying to return for Bustos, but it's broken up by Stevanovic. Bit of an awkward ball for Chaplow. Bustos in space after the giveaway. Campbell working with Wynn. Van Avike with good strength, and Norman Jr. wraps him in a chokehold. And hard to believe that that's not a yellow card.
Amazed that's not a yellow card.
The USL is one of the most
It was not a hug from affection from Norman Jr. there. Van Avike was thrown to the ground.
Stay up to date with all the latest league news and information by visiting www.uslsoccer.com.
That happened in rugby, you'd be sent to the sin bin.
Fans, the USL is one of the most prominent second division professional leagues in the world, featuring some of the game's top talent and rising stars. Stay up to date with all the latest league news and information by visiting uslsoccer.com and follow them on Twitter at USL. OC providing a little bit of pressure here. So Ricky clears it away, but it's out of bounds. And it'll stay with OC, and they'll move up the field at their own pace and milk the clock for what it's worth.
Good pressure defensively there from the forwards of Orange County SC. Forces the error from the goalkeeper. Looks like he's struggling a little bit with the angle of the sun as the shadows are drifting across the pitch.
You do have to tip your hat to Logan Paws and sort of the game management aspect of it from his standpoint, because he's allowed his team to be able to get a couple substitutions on early, brought on fresh legs, and while they haven't had a whole lot of the ball, they have made life difficult for Vancouver. And while we say that it has a lot to do with the anxiety aspect of it, it's also making life difficult on the end of Orange County as Van Avijk curling it towards the back post and Ricky able to claim it.
You see there Van Avijk just trying to stand that ball up on the wind and high in the air to try and unsight the goalkeeper against the sunshine. So far, Orange County SC, they've had a plan in this second half and they've executed it pretty well. And trying to hit Whitecaps FC 2 on the counterattack. They just haven't been able to put the ball on frame as yet. Stefanovic certainly is impressed on the counterattacks.
Chaplow finding Villalobos. It was a good challenge on the far side from Chung, and now Villalobos taken down, and it's starting to get chippy from Vancouver as they're in danger of extending their winless streak to 8 here in Irvine tonight. And Villalobos has certainly played the super sub role for this Orange County team. Came off the bench, ended up scoring the game-winning goal in a 4-3 victory over Seattle Sounders 2. Had that dramatic equalizer against Portland Timbers 2 when they went down to 9 men. And he's been a great asset for Logan Paws off of the bench. Van Avijk trying to chip it through. Very cheeky in the way that he sort of delivers the ball in tight spaces, not afraid to flick it up and over outreach defenders, and very clever in the way that he delivers the ball.
A great imagination that he has, and then the technical ability to back that imagination up. You see that Villalobos went into that space to try and support Van Avijk, and then ended up taking the defender into the area. And as Villalobos moved off to try and create an angle for a pass, basically all he did was leave the defender in the space and condense things and made it very difficult for Van Avijk to exploit any area.
And now the Ivy League man out of Princeton, Thomas Sander, comes onto the scene in the 85th minute. Sander, over 30 goals in his career for the Tigers. Has a handful of goals this season for Whitecaps FC 2, and now potentially looking to play a super sub role of his own. Coming on here in the 85th as the ball did go out of bounds, and it'll be a goal kick for Spencer Rickey. Again, Orange County SC salutes Hogan Hogue Orthopedic Institute nurses for their service to our community as they're being honored at tonight's game. Five minutes and change for Orange County to hold on to all 3 points. Vancouver with something still to say about it as Charlie Lyon comes out with strong fists and Asua has to clear it away, but Whitecaps FC giving one more go at this to try to get the equalizer.
Sander there at 6'4", the target on that cross. Lyons had to make sure he cleared the danger.
There's the header from Seiler coming in. Thomas Sander trying to get on the end of this one as Villalobos beats him to the ball and then sends it up the sideline, but only as far as Chung. Van Eyck winning the ball in a dangerous area, and now it's a 2v2 situation. Stevanovic joining the play. Still Van Eyck, waiting for the cavalry to arrive. Back for the Dutchman. Over for Chaplow. Asua. Now Stevanovic toying with the defender. Stevanovic going for goal, and that had some power behind it. It's blocked away by Dean, and it will be a corner for the home side.
A wasted opportunity from Orange County SC because Van Eyck wouldn't pass the ball. Stevanovic was in a great position to receive the pass and go in on frame. It almost seemed like Orange County SC wanted to get as many Whitecap FC2 defenders back as possible before they pulled the trigger.
Stevanovic on the corner, doesn't get past Christian Dean, who's been all over the map defensively for Vancouver. Muse. Great little slip ball through. Villalobos going for the curler. And it's the wrong part of the frame. But it was a good opportunity for the super sub, who was looking to back up his name.
Clever little through ball to find Villalobos, and he just opened himself up to try and curl that ball in on frame. Just hit the top of the net, the roof of the net, but as you said, Tyler, not the right side of the roof of the net.
It is fun to watch Marco Bustos in the middle of the field as he just conjures up so many different opportunities for this Vancouver side. As Dean whips this in, center back starting to get a little bit more involved offensively. OC still looking for the cherry on top.
Dean is defending further and further up the pitch, the center back.
And the line for Vancouver creeping up towards midfield. And there's a late tackle on Chaplow, or from Chaplow rather, after the whistle. As Bustos is taken down, he's taken a couple of knocks throughout these 90 minutes.
Yeah, that one didn't feel good at all. Both players committed to the ball, even though the whistle had already gone for the earlier foul. So Bustos and Bevan could do some comparing on who's got the most tattoos on their left arm there. Reading that Bevan has got some tattoos in honor of his mum, who's back home in New Zealand, who he misses.
Great talent for this Vancouver side. Hasn't been able to find the back of the net tonight. Still some time left. Bustos had to head over to the Vancouver bench for a brief moment as medical attention came onto the field. He'll come back on for a moment, but for the moment, Vancouver down to 10 men. Englishman up for the header. Wynn just sending a prayer down the field. Getting word now that we'll have 3 minutes of stoppage time from the fourth official. Plenty of time for an insurance or an equalizer. Bustos tried to squeeze his way through, might pay dearly for it. Villalobos is off to the races. Stevanovic and Van Eyck running for him. Villalobos held up for a moment, now out wide for Stevanovic. Stevanovic holding the ball up wisely, fending off Wynn. Enter on Campbell, and able to win a throw-in. And OC, just a matter of seconds before they're able to claim all 3 points and extend their unbeaten streak to 7.
Great strength there and skill from Stevanovic to win or keep possession for Orange County SC.
Very clever from Chaplow. Great movement from OC. Van Eyck superb skill. Out wide for Stevanovic. Van Avik looking for a foul. Referee says play on. Minute and a half remaining. Campbell held up by Asua.
And no surprise that foul went against Orange County SC as Asua had his arm all over the neck of Campbell.
DeVries. Now wide for Seiler. Clips it in. Sander was looking for the header. He made a good diving effort. Last touch off of Orange County, so will be a corner for Vancouver, and this is dangerous territory here for Orange County. It's a set piece right at the last. And they'll have one more defensive effort before they can claim all 3 points. Bustos on the corner. It's a good floated ball in. Van Avik gets there first, back out for Chung. Dean sends it in. It's a dangerous ball. Bustos was there. Fortunate that was a little out of his reach for Orange County. Certainly would have given Charlie Lyon some issues.
Searching ball to the back post. Bustos couldn't quite connect to turn it on frame. A great effort though. Totally committed to the ball, just couldn't find a way to connect. And the fans want the final whistle.
And that has certainly been the story of Vancouver's night, just unable to find that last piece to the puzzle. As the crowd here waiting for the final whistle from Michael Ratchuk. That'll see Orange County catapult into the top 4 in the Western Conference. And it's just a matter of moments now. Stevanovic just trying to see it out. And that's going to do it from Champion Stadium. Orange County with a gritty, gutsy 3 points. And now they move into the top 4 in the Western Conference, still with a handful of games in the palm of their hands. A very gutty performance from Logan Paus's side.
Thank you for attending tonight's game. Join us next Tuesday, August 8th.
It was a very good performance from Orange County SC. I was thinking about golf, and the best golfers score well when they're playing badly. It wasn't the best performance from Orange County SC by any stretch, but they still found a way to get the job done tonight.
Victor Pineda's goal in the 10th minute proves to be the game winner, the first of his career as a member of Orange County Soccer Club. And it's a huge goal for Logan Paus on this side as they extend their unbeaten streak to 7 and pick up a huge 3 points. Final score from Champion Stadium, Orange County 1, Vancouver Whitecaps FC 2-0. We'll be back in just a few moments with postgame.
Here's your check. Oh, you got it. You know, since I got rid of my car, I really enjoy walking.
Hey. God, no.
Getting pulled over for buzz driving could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates.
Oh, you're home early. You live with your mom?
That'll set your game back a few years. Buzzed, busted, and broke. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
full time here from Champion Stadium, and it is all smiles from the home crowd here in Irvine, California, as Orange County SC pick up a huge 3 points that sends them into the top 4 in the Western Conference as Logan Paws addresses his team. Matt Stubbington addressed the folks at home. What do you think of this match?
It was a good match from both squads, to be perfectly frank. Orange County SC, I think, weren't firing on all cylinders, but they found a way to get the job done when it mattered. They made the better decisions in the attacking third. Unlucky not to get a couple of goals in the second half, but I'm also impressed with the Whitecaps FC too. They showed fight and competitive spirit, and they quite easily could have just laid down and gone.
Well, let's take a look at some of the best moments from this 90 minutes, and it really just took one moment of sort of toughness and grittiness from Victor Pineda to be able to find the back of the net that would prove to be the game winner.
There's a little bit of magic from Muse on the far sideline with the Cruyff turn. Serves in a great ball. It was headed by Webas, and then Pineda got the rebound. It was a fantastic save off the initial header from the goalkeeper from the Whitecaps FC2. Look at that touch onto the post. It could do nothing with the rebound as Pineda puts it past and into the back of the net.
Pineda, his first goal of the season, his first goal as a member of Orange County SC, and it is a game-winning goal for Pineda, but Vancouver Whitecaps FC2 would certainly have something to say about it.
Certainly tried to have something to say about it. Bevan, number 45 for the Whitecaps FC2, the Kiwi, young player, lots of confidence, pulls the trigger without trying to control the ball with his left foot, and almost put that one on frame. Lyon was scrambling.
And Melito Fernandez would give the Vancouver back some issues, but Spencer Rickey to the savior of Vancouver again.
It was a difficult ball. DeVries couldn't deal with it because it stood up off of the turf. The goalkeeper had to come out quickly and smother the chance.
And then it was Spencer Rickey one more time denying Monday 18.
A fantastic shot from a team through traffic. The goalkeeper saw it late, but boy, did he make amends for seeing it late. Fantastic athletic save to his left.
The former Husky out of the University of Washington had a great game. Nothing he'd do about the goal he gave up to Pineda, as this one more time from Rickey, or rather that was Charlie Lyon this time from Orange County making a big save. He wasn't tested all that much, but when his number was called upon, he was up to the task.
A fantastic save again through traffic. This shot left-footed from Norman Jr. And again, a great save. Down to the left was Lyon. A fantastic effort.
And then this was almost a brace for Pineda, as Francis DeVries would make a great captain-like play on the goal line.
Oh, fantastic save here from DeVries. The goalkeeper is committed. You have to go behind your keeper if he steps out of net. That's exactly what the captain did. And at that point, kept the score at 1-0 and gave the Whitecaps FC2 a chance to get back into the match. They just weren't able to do so.
And there you see the final stats from tonight's match. And this Whitecaps FC2 team dominating possession of a very experienced Orange County squad, but the experienced side knew what they were doing. Logan Paws had a game plan going into the second half, and they executed it.
They absolutely did. They just absorbed the pressure, dropped off defensively, made sure they kept the ball in front of them, and tried to hit on the counterattack, which they almost did, or almost successful in increasing the scoreline. But again, that possession, 62% for Whitecaps FC2. It was predominantly in their attacking half, which was good to see. It shows the competitive spirit from the Canadian team. But somehow, some way, they have to make better decisions in the attacking third and not get so anxious when they're trying to make those decisions and try to create those scoring opportunities.
Well, 3 points is 3 points is 3 points as OC come away with all three. And their next game coming up against LA Galaxy 2, August 2nd, 7:30 p.m. Pacific time. Out on the East Coast, it is at 10:30. And that is against Mike Munoz's very young but very technical and capable side, as Orange County look to keep the good times rolling, as they are going to enjoy this W here tonight in Irvine, California. It was a spectacular night of football. We had a blast. We hope you did as well, as Victor Pineda's goal stands as the game winner, and Orange County now move up into the top 4 in the Western Conference, taking down Vancouver Whitecaps FC2. For our outstanding crew and my broadcast partner, Matt Stubbington, I'm Tyler Terran saying so long for now. The final score from Irvine, OC 1, Vancouver 0. We'll talk to you soon.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League may not be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the express written consent from the United Soccer League.